Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Let me go ahead and share this live real quick. I do apologize for being late. Like, my computer completely logged me out of everything. Story of my life, of course. We live now. Let's go. And let me let the Discord people, the Discord know that we are live. Now, for the new members, just know we do have a Discord. I'll post the invite on the community wall. We just talk about true crime cases and trending topics and different things that are happening around the world, right? Like that's what we do. Let me share this with everybody, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys, we have so much to review. So shout out to let me start right here while everybody's you can't open it. While everybody's getting in and everything, we're letting those notifications kind of go. Is it Friday yet? I know, right? Oh my goodness. I was watching, shout out to BJ. I was watching a little bit of the Diddy trial. I was watching Ticket TV too for the Diddy trial. I was splitting myself into two so I could listen about a little bit of everything that's going on. I think Diddy really thinks that he was going to get acquitted today or something. It's not, I didn't think he was. The judge was basically like, all right, y'all, I heard the arguments. Go home and let me think about it. Thank you, BJ. Oh my God. I was like, the judge's not going to make a decision like that right now. I don't think he is. But, anyways, shout out to everybody, you guys. I know you said I love Ticket. He's so blunt. Ticket is funny too. You gotta love Ticket because he's kind of straight to the point. And I like those like straight to the point personalities. He's one of my favorite. All right, let's get it together. You said that judge was like, the judge said what he said. I mean, I okay, granted, I've never gone to the courthouse, I've never gone to the hearing, but I can almost like having covered the trial, I know probably BJ feels the same way. And I mean, BJ went, right? So in my mind, I could kind of see how all of this has played out publicly. So, anyways, I know Diddy's really trying to, well, I guess we'll see, man. He said he's gonna go home, everybody, and then he'll let people know what's gonna happen. That's what he said. All right, guys, we got to get it together because we definitely have a document to go through. So I want to shout out first of all. This is I'm new. I'm a new follower, and she followed me back. Yay! Her name is Lauren. Now I was gonna say Lauren Collins, but I think it's Lauren Conlin. Excuse me, Conlin, and she's got a YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure. She's also like she's huge over here on excuse me Twitter. Make sure you check her out. So I saw this document first right over here, and I know I freaking bookmarked it now that I'm out of the bookmark. Here it is. So she actually showed this yesterday. I don't know how I missed this, but she says this just in literally received this moments ago by mail. I haven't checked my mail. I did order some, by the way, I did order documents from the Los Angeles coroner's office. So maybe there's something waiting for me in the mail. I got to go check it out. From the Los Angeles medical examiner's office. On September 19, Celeste Rivas' cause of death is still pending further evaluation via Alma Martinez, deputy ME. Let's look at this document, okay? And I mean, I got to go check my mail. And it says, see if I can make myself smaller while we read this, okay? Shout out to everybody coming through, guys. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. It says medical examiners of the county of Los Angeles certifies that on the 10th of September 2025, in accordance with the law, inquired into the circumstances surrounding the death of the above mentioned person, caused an examination and identification to be made of the body and found that the deceased was named Riva Celeste. Okay. A female about age about 15 years old, that she came to her death on the 8th day of September at 2025, September 2025 at vehicle. And then the address is there, I guess, of where the vehicle was located, which was somewhere in North. I don't want to read the address out, but that she put that out there, and it says Los Angeles County, California, and the cause of death pending further medical evaluation. That's what it says. Pending further medical evaluation. And the deputy ME is Alma Martinez. Okay. So we still don't have everything there, but I guess this is a document that was sent to anybody that might have ordered those documents. You guys, what are your thoughts? Makes no sense. Well, wouldn't that be the date that that she was that she was at least identified, right? So, but we don't know her death date. We don't know if she died. I honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys, I really do believe that she died before she turned 15. I think that would make sense. I feel like, but also keep in mind that if her body was in this hot car, advanced states of decomposition is a thing, you know. We were talking about this. There could be kind of various factors that play into this. And David never reported her missing. I don't think David was ever going to report her missing. So this was shared out on the Twitter. Make sure you guys go check out her Twitter. She did share that with the people. I found it to be very interesting. Other factors, as well as SF Investigate says, let's see. I've had few different people directly connected to Celeste Rivas Hernandez reach out to me, according to them, and other family friends they've spoken with. The last time anyone had contact with Celeste Rivas was in July, which the video that people that TMZ had taken from Reddit and they had put out there, and then they backtracked. They're like, no, guys, it's not really Celeste. We had a confirmation. It's not really Celeste. Well, who are they talking to say that it's not Celeste? Who? Who is it? We don't know. Keep that in mind. We just don't know all the players, the people. When was she last seen? Is there a picture of her on the date that they maybe there's a text message? Who did she last text message with? Right? That would be kind of my question, because like around that age, who doesn't text message? These teenagers, that's all they do is text message, right? Who doesn't? Who was the last person that was text messaging with Celeste? Would be maybe the last time that she would have been alive. SF Investigate further says Tesla belongs to David, is a 2023 Model X, not a Model Y. I just watched a story on News Nation with Banfield that was specific about the technology on Model Y, which they claim was the exact model that Celeste was found in. However, if you run the vehicle, the plates on the car, it's a Model X. I have concealed the plate number to stay in compliance with DMV database regulations. Don't mess with SF Investigates. The man is a PI, okay? He runs stuff. Shout out to him. Listen, interesting point. And why does it matter? What SF is saying is that the front is actually smaller on the Model X. So this is also important because Model X front has 6.6 cubic feet of space versus 4.1 in the Model Y. Size matters. Hiding a body, putting a body. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let's get into this other report from Banfield. They get into the Tesla, and she's got some interesting images here, you guys.
But the news was confirmed by TMZ. The sources definitive. That's not Celeste. You know, knowing when a victim became a victim can tell you something really important. It can tell you who or who may not have an alibi when that victim disappears and dies.
Absolutely.
Among those who desperately want.
Now, let me see. Like, I know I got these little like fan stands. I just had to put a fan stand on like timeout. Please don't fan stand over here. Like, I literally had people in my comments yesterday apologetic. PDF files apologist. That's what I'm assuming. You must be a PDF file apologist, like literally with all the information. Now, mind you, he has not been convicted or found or anything, but please don't come in here praising or giving the okay that a 20-year-old is somehow connected. It's okay for a 20-year-old to be grooming a 14-year-old or 15-year-old. Like, I don't see it any other way right now. I don't. There might be I might have a different perspective in different areas because I've seen it and I lived through different things. But please don't come over here victim blaming, because you just gonna you gonna go to sleep. Meaning, AKA, you're gonna get blocked. That's what you're gonna do. Like, that's weird. Weird, mad energy with that.
To see this case solved are her neighbors in Lake Elsinore. Our producer found this memorial that they have set up. Her neighbors, those who loved her in this town, maybe some who didn't even know her, but love her in death and want justice for her. This is the street where she used to live. And this is the growing memorial that has been built to honor her in death. It's also the street where presumably her family still lives. So likely they are seeing this on a regular basis. We do know tonight that Celeste's remains have now been released to her family, and that her family is planning a funeral for her on October 4th, presumably in Lake Elsinore.
So they are going to have a funeral. I mean, clearly, I think that's going to bring a lot of community members together, because this story has really, it's shocked a lot of people, right? It's different walks of life. Somebody on TikTok, and I think I flagged it, but she said something very true. Like, and this might be in kind of various different walks of life, like women specifically. You know, you have this thing in Juarez. If anybody knows it and is familiar with Las Muertas de Juarez, put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. The women that they disappear in Juarez, and there's a lot of corruption, right, in that area in Mexico. They disappear and they're found in a desert, dead. After a woman grows up, she gets her, she starts developing, gets her first period. They're just not protected in the Latino culture. Las Muertas del Juarez is a very real thing. There's podcasts about it, and people don't talk about it because there's cartel involvement, because there's politicians involvement. This is deep. Women go missing all the time, right? But there was a TikToker, she said something that really resonated with me with that, and I was like, yeah, I forgot about just especially when you're a young girl and you get your first period. Like, people see you a little bit different. It's like you may not be ready to grow up, but society expects you to grow up, if that makes sense. It's crazy, man. Thank you. Ahmad, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. Thank you, love. Linda, thank you for being a member for 13. And James, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you guys for supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. Honestly. Really do. Thank you. Make sure you guys put some hearts in the chat if you've been gifted by James or anyone.
The fact that her remains have been released right now, that is striking, because the LA Medical Examiner has not announced, quote, the mode or manner of death. Police are treating it like a homicide. But if there's any evidence that actually proved it's a homicide, they're not saying so. They're not saying anything.
They're not.
So again,
they haven't named him, at least publicly. We know, we read some reports, at least people that are close to the situation, that he is cooperating. Okay, but they have not named him publicly a person of interest. Well, hold up. There might have been a report out there that, like, police is talking to him and looking at him that way, but there hasn't been a formal statement. And let me say it that way. Like, LAPD hasn't made a statement. There has been no press conference. We don't see the DA kind of going crazy about this right now. I don't know. I find this to be interesting. But then consider the area. This is kind of like Riverside County type of area. Consider the area. That's what I'm gonna say.
Took our cameras and our crew to Celeste's hometown. And our producer shot this video of the scenic part of where she grew up, so you can see how beautiful this town is. The views are spectacular. I mean, look at this. It's sort of surrounded by mountains, halcyon existence. It's about an hour's drive from Los Angeles. So yeah, I guess you could commute. Lots of people do. Or you could just decide to live in a quieter place like this. But we now know that Celeste didn't want to be here. She went missing from this town at least 3 times, beginning apparently in January of last year.
Yeah, that's...
That time, sources say she was discovered.
I think that would qualify her as a chronic runaway, for sure.
By LA police a month later in the Hollywood Hills, where David took up residence in a very expensive rented house beginning in February. Celeste also ran away in March, and then again for a third time, the final time in April. We know from a missing poster that was circulated back then that police were on the case. But you would think after the first incident, when they got her in the Hollywood Hills and brought her home, you'd think they'd know where to look when she took off a second time.
No, I don't think that they were on the case. I think that what happens is that there is this thing about when people, when young, you know, when teenagers, boys and girls, because boys run away too, when young kids run away, it's, you file the run report, you get your little run number. Tell me how I know. You get your little run number. They get registered in, you know, like there's maybe a be out on the lookout type of report out there. You have like investigators behind these, the people that do the patrol work, that will collect that information, and then they'll start kind of mapping out if there's connections, you know, to kind of red flag any kind of, you know, sex trafficking, human trafficking that might be going on. You have various systems that work in this. But when a kid is on the run, all the officer does is take the report. Now, what bothers me about the situation is if there's an adult involved, David, or other adults, manager or other people, right? And we know that she's being hard. Like, we have an adult's name. He's a celeb. It's not like David wasn't anybody that wasn't like like nobody knew him. People around him knew who he was. 6 months ago, somebody sent me a video. He was like at Coachella, right? Performing. There's pictures that maybe could possibly be Celeste or somebody that looks like Celeste, right? So that's what I'm saying is, like, there's so many adults in this arena, but people, apologists, you know, the people, especially those that come in my chat with like alt accounts, they want to apologize this behavior or look it away. But there's adults around here. He was an adult. People knew. The teacher was aware. School is aware. People knew. Third, fourth hand, second hand information.
And then a third time. When Celeste was in Lake Elsinore, she hung out a lot at this store. It says liquor store, but it's actually a liquor and convenience store, and the school bus actually stops right by it. So our producer decided to pay a visit and stop by to take a look, because this location is key in this case. It is key in Celeste's story, because it's one of the last known locations where Celeste was seen before disappearing the second time in March of 2024. And it is also the place where her family came looking for her. The owner of the store remembers seeing Celeste often and reportedly gave her family video from his security cameras during one of the instances when she ran away and they came to ask him for help.
Y'all, new information, new piece of information right here. Family was looking for her. The store she frequented, they asked for footage. They gave them footage. The store rarely gives you footage of anything. That's interesting. Okay, let's keep watching.
Have you seen her? Can you show us your video? You're going to hear a lot more about what was on that video in just a moment. So stay right where you are. And I want to be really clear about one thing. Okay, it has not been definitively proven that David and Celeste ever met at all, though online videos and pictures and chats and conversations and live streams, they sure seem to prove and show otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, even the fact that that's even brought up, like I said, he surrounded himself with girls that look like Celeste. Did he just have a thing about girls with wavy dark brown hair and stuff like that? But he surrounded himself with these kind of girls. What do you guys think? Tear Talk from Prison to True Crime. Thank you so much for the $9.99. I love your coverage. I have also been covering this case as well. I would love your insight in my coverage of true crime. By the way, thank you for what you do. Absolutely. Shoot me an email and maybe a link, and then I'll check it out. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the $9.99. Reality Check Jules, thank you so much for gifting a membership, love, and also thank you for being a member. Shout out to you. The teacher said, well, she was running away to this guy named David, right? But now the verbiage is changing a little bit. Okay, just saying.
What is definitively proven is that Celeste had a boyfriend named David, and that the singer apparently had a girlfriend named Celeste. Let's also remember that David has not been charged with any crime. David has not been named a suspect. David has not even been named a person of interest. And no one that we know of is in Entourage has been named a person of interest either. Mum's the word on all of it. But man, do I have questions. So earlier today, I reached out again to a colleague at TMZ, and TMZ has owned this story right from the outset. So here's some of my latest conversation with executive producer Charles Ladebaudier.
Ooh, what do you guys think about TMZ? Because they're like backing things, they're putting things out there. What do you guys think? Let me know.
So I was so excited when I saw some video that purported to be video of potentially Celeste in the balcony at one of his concerts over the summer, which would have given us some timeline. It just didn't seem to pan out, though.
Yeah, I get why people online were really into this video and thought that this was going to be critical to the investigation. There is this woman, the video is David in concert from, it's either August 23rd or 24th. He had 2 shows in Silver Springs, Maryland. And there's a woman in the balcony who he actually acknowledges, looks up at her. She certainly could have been Celeste. It looked like it. And
so y'all remember that concert video, and I put it up yesterday. They walked it back. They're like, well, we got sources that confirmed that it might not actually be her. And then we get blamed for misinformation. Lord have mercy, but they got the biggest platforms, guys. Which one is it? Is it her? Is it not? But they're changing the narrative, and they've inserted themselves in the story too. That's what I'm saying. It does look like her. And people have said, you said they're capping. Well, people have said like Daniel's like, they're capping. People have said, no, it's her. It's her. And I'm like, but there's like other girls that look like her. I don't know, man. But this is a question that TMZ needs to answer. Where are you guys getting your sources if it's not from Reddit? You guys are pulling it from there. And then they're looking at, which I appreciate that they're looking into it, but they're still putting it out there. Oh my gosh.
And a lot of people immediately latched onto this. But we have been told.
No. TMZ latched onto it. Not a lot of people. TMZ.
Told by a source that is connected to the case that it is not Celeste, and therefore it doesn't do what we hoped it would do, right? That if this actually were her, then we would know that she was killed within a roughly 10-day period. At some point during those 10 days would have been when she was killed.
There is rampant speculation and theorizing and conspiracy theories online, and a lot of it has to do with pictures that people think are Celeste. And it's really clear to me that there are several different people in his world that look like her. For instance, the video of one of the songs has a girl who looks exactly like Celeste, the same hair, and it is not her. Her credit has a whole other name at the end of
So is this just a case of somebody who maybe likes a certain kind of girl? I don't know.
The video.
Yeah, we that was when we saw that rumor online. We looked at that video one day and broke it down. We watched it backward, forward. We slowed it down. We froze on it. And really, people looked at it for a while and they're like, it could be her. But yeah, it's
because if it is her, guys, think about it. That would give a different timeline of events. It really would.
Look, you have a Latina young girl with curly hair, and immediately everyone goes, oh, that must be her. That must be her, because everyone is wanting to make links here. And that's what happened with the video from his concert. Look, it's just hard to tell. And the reason, normally we can verify these things because you can speak to someone who knew, you can speak to a family member, you can speak to someone who was at the event, and those people have not been coming forward. And, obviously some of her family members, her brother spoke to NBC here in Los Angeles, but not on camera.
And very early on.
So it's just hard to find these people.
You know what, Charles? It's giving Idaho 4 vibes, because the entire University of Idaho shut down. Kids wouldn't talk. And that's not normal in our line of work. Kids always talk, especially teenagers and older teenagers and 20-somethings, they talk. But
well, okay, again, if she's a runaway, and if she was groomed, which that's what it gives me, they get isolated. They feel like, you know, it's like nobody else understands their situation but, you know, the boy that they want to be with or the man that they want to be with, right? There's this talking, there's this grooming, there's this isolation that happens. You know, turning your parents against you, turning your sibling, turning your friends against you. The more alone that you, the more distance from the people that are like there to help you out and support you, the more distance you are from them, the better where they can continue to groom you and, you know, do what they have to do, like do what they do. That's the thing. That's grooming. So it makes sense to me that the girl wouldn't have friends. Honestly. Anna Gates, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you for joining the membership. Thank you. Um, yeah, they you say he is backtracking. It does give backtracking, right? I mean, it really is. Let me tell you, Jaheim says, y'all content creators are milking the ish out of it. Why are you here? You know, content creators do not get paid if you're not in the chat and if you're not watching the content. Like, why are you here? You don't have to be. So why are you here? I'm covering a true crime. I'm a content creator. I get paid for my content. I do. Giving commentary about things, having conversations. That's what I do. But if you're not here, then you're not, you know, there, right? Like there's no issue. So go to sleep, have a Snickers, do what you got to do, my love.
Idaho, nobody, the police, the city, the university, the parents, everybody was locked down by the police and by the administrators, probably for good reason. It certainly preserved the prosecution. This might be what's happening here, that the players involved have been locked down by the police and told, do not speak.
Yeah, it could be. It could be that. It could be that they are getting, you know, legal advice from someone telling them, aside from the police telling them that they shouldn't be talking about it. We did get one person to talk, and this is not a family member, but someone who knows the family. We spoke to the owner of a liquor store that is on the block, same block in Lake Elsinore, where Celeste and her family lived.
And imagine this liquor store guy is he probably knows everything that goes on. I mean, he's in literally dead in that area, like in that dead set in that neighborhood and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. And this is a good question. Newbie here, where's her father in all of this? Heard of his mom, brother, sister? Maybe she's a single mom. You know, maybe that's what happened. Or did he pass? Sorry. No, you're fine. Scorpion Heat. I have not even gotten to the dad yet because we don't know a whole lot. You know what I mean? Yeah, thank you guys so much for keeping it cute in my chat. You know, some people just come in here and they just got something to say. They want to be known, but yet they want to talk ish about the people that are talking about the content or reporting on the news. Like, bitch, be gone. What are you doing here? Goodbye. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Hold up. That guy won't know anything, says Z. Do you think you think more than one person will be arrested? If you know when the dismemberment situation happened, and again, people are walking that back too, even TMZ, believe it or not. When the dismemberment news happened, I initially thought, oh yeah, it's giving cartel hit. Because it is. When I heard that. It's giving he was set up and somebody did this to her as collateral. That's what it was giving. It still could be the case. I don't know. But now, as I'm sitting here and I'm wondering about decomposition and the body and all this other stuff, it's giving that she might have passed away. He didn't know what to do. And he just kind of drove with her the car, went on tour, and just did something like that. Like he was just like stupid about it, if that makes sense. He didn't take her to go get, you know, help or anything like that. We don't know. Is her body if she was not dismembered, was her body in such advanced state of decomposition that they can't even determine the matter of death or when she died? Because they literally gave her the death date of the 8th. So I have a lot of questions about this. I don't know. I mean, could be multiple people, could be one person. Jillian, thank you so much for becoming a member. Joe Mama, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys.
And he told us he was very familiar with the kids in the neighborhood because the school bus stopped right in front of his liquor store every day. And kids would come in, not for liquor, but come in to buy soda and candy and things like that. And he said that back in March of 2024, at a point when Celeste was missing, her sister came into the store and asked the liquor store owner, hey, have you seen her do your security cameras perhaps have any footage of her? He told us that he went back at the sister's request and he did look. And on March 19th, 2024, he did see her in front of the store, go across the street and then down the street a bit and get into someone's car. He said by the time she got in the car, it was out of focus of his security camera, so he couldn't tell what kind of car it was or who else was in the car. But he did see her. What's interesting about
so people had seen her in the community, and we need to get dates of that. If that surveillance has a date of when maybe she walked by, and then that surveillance footage might have gotten her, we don't know, man. That would give a time frame of when she died. They're probably still waiting before they really rule out what happened to her. They're going to wait for toxicology. They're going to wait for tissue, all the stuff that they have to check and everything. Like I said, I did order the reports. I got to go check the mail. Clearly, I have to check the mail today and figure that out and see if anything came through, guys, because I do wonder.
About that is that it's the first time that we've had a report of a family member actively doing something, searching for her. We know that she went missing several times early in 2024 between January and April. But we were always curious. We talked about it a few days ago. Like, why wasn't the family doing more to try to find her?
Let me ask you about the shows in Australia. There's still tickets available.
That's an interesting point. Why didn't the family do more to find her? But we're hearing reports that they might have gone to the convenience store, that store right there, to ask for footage. They might have. My thing is if they knew that a man was older, was harboring her, why not? Did law enforcement know? What did law enforcement know about this situation? Because school was well aware based on what the report from the teacher said. He said that these little kids, the blackmailing and he ran away with David, some rapper or whatever, like they knew something was up. Why didn't they inform law enforcement? Now, get this too, another report, and I had to see if I have the link. I might have the link. Oh, shit. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, somebody sent me something. Another report, the fake IDs. Put a one in the chat if you guys heard about fake IDs, because that was the first time I heard about that. A fake ID. She was getting fake IDs. Somebody gave her fake IDs. What happened there? Put a one in the chat if y'all heard about the fake IDs, right? So I was looking and said, well, how do they know about the fake IDs? Have we seen a fake ID? To get a fake ID, right? That's very specific. And apparently there's reports out there that says she had multiple. I'm going to try to pull the article because I don't want to be speaking out of my, head like that. But I have an article on it, and I don't know where their source is from. That's the problem that I have with this. It's like, I don't think that that's a piece of information that law enforcement would just willy-nilly give out, honestly.
I thought the entire international, this is weird. I thought the entire international tour, domestic tour, everything was canceled, but they still have tickets for December.
Yeah, it is very puzzling to me, and I don't know if that's just optimistic that David and his management are hoping that by that point, this is all going to be cleared up and he's going to be free to leave the country. They clearly didn't feel like that was going to be the case for his European tour because they canceled those dates in October and November. What can you read into that, right? Can you read into that David has told them, I'm not guilty of anything and this is all going to clear up, so don't cancel those December dates. We just need to let the investigation play out. Perhaps that's what's happened. But it is really puzzling that they have not canceled those dates yet.
They have not canceled the date. That's crazy. Look, this is the Men's Journal. And then the Men's Journal, I believe, got it from the Daily Mail. This is the Men's Journal, okay? And it says, other sources claim that having ran away before, Rivas had multiple fake IDs, which allowed her to present herself as much older than she actually was. Amid the investigation, many have raised questions on whether David knew Rivas' real age or if she had originally kept the truth from him. I call BS. I think, I'm sorry. How long have they been, at least timeline-wise, how long do we know that they have been talking to each other? Somebody had to have gotten her those fake IDs. She was also getting into concerts, if potentially, I'm assuming. Who gave her fake IDs? I want to go to it said on the Discord message, I want to go to your concert, but my mom won't let me go. He says, don't worry about it.
My great thanks to Charles Ladibaudiere from TMZ. I have to sneak in a quick break here, but up next, we're putting the most important evidence of all under the microscope, the decomposing remains that were found in David's trunk. When you're a certified death investigator, you know how to read that kind of evidence like a map. And Joseph Scott Morgan from the famed podcast Body Bags is doing just that. Next.
My goodness. Hold up. Yeah, Cheeto, thank you so much for saying this. And this is what I'm saying, y'all. We don't know. We don't know a whole lot. I know that there's a lot of speculation about the different things that we could say. I agree. But she was a child and somehow she's in the frunk of a Tesla, guys. There's so much we don't know.
Was Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Crazy.
Her body had decomposed so badly that when it was found on September 8th, one day after her 15th birthday, some reports said only a head and torso was found. Had she been dismembered? Or was the decomposition so bad?
I told you guys, they're walking it back. They're walking it back. If BJ's still in the chat, shout out to BJ. BJ, do you hear this? Now the report, I'm telling you, it's like I feel like they're changing. Every day there's something new that's changing. There's an article out there. Shout out to the person that tagged me on Twitter. I forgot her name, but I'm going to go back, okay? That literally said that law enforcement told them that it was a head and torso in plastic bags. Hence, the dismemberment narrative came out.
That her head and torso were all that could be recognized at first. Investigators continue to list the young victim's cause and manner of death as deferred, meaning undetermined. But they've also now returned Celeste's remains to her family. So was the medical examiner able to fill in all those important blanks? Or did they have to give up looking because the answers are impossible to get? My next guest is the perfect person to ask all about this. Joseph Scott Morgan is a certified death investigator and the Distinguished Scholar of Applied Forensics at Jacksonville State University. He also hosts the extraordinarily popular podcast, Body Bags, with Joseph Scott Morgan. And he's a friend of mine and a friend of the show. It's good to have you back, Joe Scott. Let's get right to it. I just can't believe this report that the body has been returned to the family. Would they list the cause and manner of death the minute they find it? Or the
Ooh, that's a great question. Hold up. Now, let me show you guys. Because like I said, shout out to, I think her name on TikTok, excuse me, not TikTok. X is Orange Dreamsicle. Is it Orange Dreamsicle? Thank you, Orange Dreamsicle. She tagged me this. I've been referencing this. Rivas remains described by authorities as head and torso found inside of a bag were discovered in the front. It doesn't say dismember. It says head and torso. Head and torso.
The fact that it's not listed and the remains have been returned, does that mean we're not going to get it?
No, I don't know that it necessarily means that we're not going to get the cause of death. I think that it might be coming. However, it might be vague. We might hear things like homicidal trauma and non-specific homicidal trauma, perhaps. But here's something I want you to understand. If you look at the flyer that they put out, when she was missing, you notice her weight? It was 120.
Yeah.
Now?
71.
Like 70 pounds or something?
Or 70
crazy?
pounds.
Right. When they recovered her remains, Ash, 71 pounds. That's 49 pounds she's missing. So what can we determine from that? Well, we've heard reports of dismemberment and
120, but okay. We don't know when she died. Her body was in this hot ass car, guys.
There was one report from the police that said the body was not intact. So either we're missing something or she's in such an advanced state of decomposition. And look, I don't want to go too far over the top here, but bodies do have a tendency to break down and even liquefy to a certain degree. And in this heat, and I even remember in August, I got friends in LA and they were talking about it was a record-breaking heat wave that they were in during this specific period of time. And heat, as we know, speeds everything up, particularly decomposition.
Well, we all know.
Well, somebody said in the chat, how do you lose 50 pounds? I think you really can if you're sitting there in a hot ass car, right? 70 pounds because no fluids, right? Like no fluids anymore, nothing. And you're literally like, I'm sorry, but, and I hate to be graphic because we're talking about a child in a car, right? That we don't know when she died. Keep that in mind. We don't know when she died. No, like the fluid, like Miss Amber said right here, 70 pounds because no fluid, no body fluids, right?
How hot a car can get.
Yes.
This is a black Tesla. It is the trunk. It is outside, likely in late August, early September in LA. Can you give me an idea of how fast a body can be in advanced or liquefied decomposition in that kind of an environment?
Yeah, relatively quickly. And if she's been packaged like in plastic in any way, that's also going to cause the body to sweat as well, contained within that within a plastic packaging. I'd heard some indication that that may have occurred. And again, it's literally like being in an oven. The body begins to reduce. It's like any other organic substance that you place into this environment. It's going to react and interact with the environment, and the heat and the temperature are going to dictate the rate. The problem is, Ash, is you're trying to measure this out without specific dates. You know,
We don't have any dates. That's why that video that was put out would have put a timeline, but we don't know. And what if she was captured by that footage of that convenience store or that neighborhood convenience store? There's a lot. I'm sure law enforcement has already figured a lot of this out that we've already asked multiple times.
I began to think about what the status of the remains would be throughout this process. If she was compromised physically after death, if someone had attempted to do something with her body, where's the rest of it? How much was lost during this procedure?
Yes.
And then you couple that with the fact that she's going to be subjected to heat, that's going to even give rise to quicker decomposition.
So,
people don't realize that.
Let me be like, I'm going to go rapid fire because I have a lot of questions for you and only 2 minutes left. But is it possible she could decompose to a point where even early investigators would think she's dismembered, but she wasn't? She's there. She's just liquefied in so many places they couldn't tell.
No, they do not throw around the term dismemberment without specific evidence of that. You're going to have tool marks here.
Ooh, look at that. And so Deborah says, so no reports of smell while the cart was parked. I think there was. Well, that's a great question, right? Like nobody, did the person that towed the car smell anything before moving the car? But as soon as it was towed, no smell. But so once it got to the tow yard, how long was it there before the smell? I think, Deborah, don't quote me, but I believe they had said 5 days. 5 days. So ask the question. Shout out to BJ's mom. BJ's like, hey, mom. Shout out to Miss Amber in the chat. Y'all drop some hearts for Miss Amber. He said he is working with the investigators, but I think keep track of the investigation. But BJ, you hear this though about the dismemberment? Now they're kind of walking it back. That's crazy, man. I think it was this weekend, and I said, I don't know about this dismemberment. People are saying different things now.
Okay. With the decomposition, can you back time of death? Would the ME be able to determine time of death?
They're only going to give you very broad strokes relative to time. Those parameters are very difficult to set, particularly this far down range, down the timeline. I'm sorry?
How broad? How broad?
I'd say probably they're not going to be able to narrow it down any more than about 3 weeks, probably.
Oh, gosh, that's not going to help. Okay,
Yes.
How about toxicology? In the advanced state of decomposition, will they be able to tell if she OD'd or if she was...
Well, here's the question that I have. If they determine that, like, if they wait for the tox, could they, like, fix the report to actually give her a death date? Or is the death date September 8th? Have they definitively said that this is what we're going to write it as? Because that's what the website says. It sounds like that's what the report says, too. September 8th. What if through toxicology they find out something different? Could they change that? I don't know.
She was OD'd. I mean, there's a homicide version of being overdosed, and then there's an accidental suicide of overdose. Will they be able to tell if there's drugs involved?
Yeah, there's 2 things that we do, just so that everybody understands. At this point in time, you're not going to do a blood draw. It's going to be probably worthless. You're going to go to the organs. What we do is we take samples of the liver and of the brain, and those will be spun down in a centrifuge. Now, what you will be able to do is you can get a qualifying amount, but you're not going to be able to get a quantified amount. So if you're looking for an OD, basically all they'll be able to say is that, yes, there were these drugs in her system, but you can't give a specific number relative to therapeutic range versus OD range.
This is interesting.
Okay. The
Miss Addie says, Addie B, Google said water loss. The most significant source of weight loss comes from the evaporation and release of body fluids. An adult body is typically 50 to 60% water, which for 120 pounds is 60 to 72 pounds. So, thank you, Miss Addie, for looking this up. She would be kind of in that range, right? That's interesting. Sylvia, thank you for the 1999. Please hit that like button, guys. Please, yes, please support the channel. Joe Mama, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you. Nicole, love your rabbit. Some say that Celeste was sacrificed. Nicole, people have said that. Man, the entanglement of Hollywood, Josh Marshall not speaking out, not saying something publicly, like, guys, I find it very hard to believe that this guy didn't know that what his artist was doing. Okay. I have a hard time, allegedly, in my opinion, I have a hard time believing that. Val Reezy, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you.
next question's a big one because a lot of people are asking, and some are throwing it out there without proof that Celeste might have been pregnant. But we've seen this before, right? Girlfriend gets pregnant, boyfriend doesn't want the baby, and things go sideways. Not saying it happened with David and Celeste. However, with advanced decomposition, if she were pregnant, could the investigators tell that?
Yeah, the key is going to be the uterus here. I think I don't know how much information we could get.
I think a lot of us, I would be the one to speculate that. I thought maybe she is, maybe she wasn't. I'm not really sure. But then again, we're all waiting to hear that, if that makes sense. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she wasn't pregnant. We don't know. What I did show yesterday, shout out to SF Investigates, who put in the in his page that infant deaths are reported, and there were no infant deaths reported on that day.
Relative to hormonal changes, which are things that we look for in pregnancy, right? In the postpartum state, though, what you're going to be looking for is the uterus. Does the uterus survive? Is it still there, or has it been done away with? If it's there, there might be some histological changes you could appreciate, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
If the uterus is not intact, there's no way to tell just from the liquefied remains if the hormonal changes are there, or if evidence of pregnancy is there?
I think that would be very, very difficult. Those tests are very, very sensitive, and this far down range, I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Okay, if it is possible, if her uterus, because they did say they found a torso, so if her uterus was intact and they are able to determine if she's pregnant, if she were pregnant, would they be able to determine paternity, even in advanced decomposition?
Excellent question. That's really difficult to determine. I would say probably not at this point, particularly if they can't recover a fetus. And, we've heard all kinds of wild rumors about this sort of thing. And I don't know that anything is going to be there. They haven't released that information yet. So I'm going to be sitting around just like you, waiting to hear more info from the medical examiner. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. I'd say that we've probably still got 4 to 6 weeks before we're going to hear anything. They're going to try to test every possible.
We may not even get any news anytime soon, guys, if they're waiting for the tox. We may not get anything for, like, I don't know, a couple weeks at this point, which is crazy because it's like there was a child that was found in the trunk of your car.
Item that they recovered at autopsy, and not just that.
I mean, not to make comparison, but the Emmanuel Jaro case, they arrested the parents, and we don't even know where baby Emmanuel is at. Y'all, I don't know.
But they're going to be exploring cause of death here. Her neck muscles, strap muscles, hyoid, and also anything relative to skeletal structure. Did she have a skull fracture in any way? Or was there any kind of bullet trauma? A lot to be learned from here.
Yeah, I've got 10 seconds left, but I've got to ask you, it was in the impound lot for only a couple of days. It was abandoned street side for about 5. So let's just say around 8 days in the hot sun in Los Angeles. How advanced do you expect her decomposition to be? And how many answers do you think we will get?
Yeah, very advanced. You're going to have significant, what's referred to as skin slippage. I still have this idea. I don't know that her body was in that car the entire time. Was it in a structure
Yes.
somewhere else? And then people wanted to get separation from the body as the body began to turn, put it in the car, move it down the street, get rid of the smell, get rid of the body, but yet be able to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
It's why
That's a great question. And then you don't report your car missing or stolen. This is why it's not even looking good for David too. Well, maybe he was on tour. He didn't know. Huh? But I'm assuming an impound's good. Listen, I've never had my car impounded. Man, knock on wood. If y'all ever had your car impounded, and you don't even know it's impounded, which I find it hard to believe, but say that you did have your car impounded, wouldn't they run your plates to find out who and why? Even run your plates before they impound your car.
you are so popular with your podcast Body Bags. Joseph
Thank you.
Scott Morgan, I always appreciate our conversations. As macabre as they are, you're so informative. So thank you for this.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it, Ash. Good to see you.
Right.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, be quiet, Cuomo. All right. But they didn't keep an eye on it. You're right. You're right. Kelly, thank you so much for this super sticker right here. Thank you. Ooh, thank you. Sorry, I clicked it off. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Yes, can we get 500 more likes, please? Did they expect it to go found or not? Or did they want this body to be found? I've had a car impounded, but they don't contact you, says Madison. I've never had one. So y'all, like, if you get your car impounded, don't they run the plates? They don't contact you. They just let you, because they're collecting money, right? They're collecting money the minute that that car enters the lot. So I do wonder about this. I don't know, man. Hold up. Banfield, who does she interview? Okay, we did this interview already. I don't want us to repeat this. Now, I was sent something very interesting. See if I can pull it real quick. Let me see if I can pull this real quick, y'all. Give me a second. Da-da-da. Shout out to the person. Again, and I don't think this is a confirmed sighting. You could say it looks like her, but I honestly don't think that it does because she doesn't look like this is her attire, in my opinion. But you know that this guy right here, what's his name? Jason the Ween IRL. Y'all remember him, right? He did do a video about David and knowing David and everything, right? So Jason the Ween was at Coachella with David. Put a one in the chat if you guys have seen this. This was literally 5 months ago, which would have been what? April, okay? And it does kind of make you wonder, was Celeste there at Coachella? Or what? Where was she at? Would she attend these events? Can't wait for the Tesla video. Yeah, somebody told me, well, the person that sent me this said, go look at the 4-minute and 50 plus. We'll start at 4:57, right? He said, go look at the 4-minute and some plus, thing. It looks like Celeste might have been there. I don't feel like it's her, but maybe you guys might see it. I'm not really sure. Let me make myself a little bit smaller. Okay. And this guy made a statement too, somewhat of a statement.
I'm hearing him right now. I have to wait 7 songs. Yo, what emo should I hit? I gotta hit. I'm gonna just go on stage and see what I can do. I'm next, y'all. I'm about to hit the Lil Yachty emo.
Okay, hold up. Let me go back because you guys might have missed it. They're saying that this might be her.
I'm gonna just go on stage and see what I can do. I'm next, y'all.
This girl right here with the pink tube top. I don't think so. But I don't know. A lot of pictures that I've seen, she always has her hair kind of all over the place, but she could look like her. I don't know. What do y'all think? That's not her. I didn't think it was her. And I never really seen her wear white. Does that look like, that does look dressed like Celeste? I don't think she dresses like Celeste. She didn't give me that. She's just maybe a girl that's sitting there or standing there. Hold up. Let me see.
I'm gonna just go on stage and see what I can do. I'm next, y'all. I'm about to hit the
Now this is when this is at Coachella, right? So this is when he like hit his head when he was doing the backflip and everything, and he hit his head, y'all. He hit his head. The backflip failed. He was trying to backflip, but yeah. What do y'all think? I don't think so. It's not giving me that. But shout out to the person that sent me this. I feel like right now, because we're like looking into see Celeste pictures, was this Celeste? We're all kind of getting a little bit of a tunnel vision. So we got to step back and maybe evaluate a little bit more.
Lil Yachty emo.
And he was out there again, Coachella, young people, shout out to everybody that attends Coachella. I don't. He says she looks prego. No, Celeste was very casual dressing. That's way too much effort for a casual girl. Says I know. I was like, Celeste kind of gave me this what's the word? Tomboyish. I don't want to assume, but she kind of gave me that tomboyish kind of vibe. What do y'all think? Thoughts? Opinions? I don't know, man. And like I said, everybody is reporting on this footage that TMZ put out that they got from Reddit.
Celeste was seen on surveillance footage and was not seen at David's concert. A source close to the investigation has confirmed that the individual seen in the videos at David's concert that many believe is Celeste is in fact not. In addition to that, Celeste was also seen on surveillance footage at a liquor convenience store. This store is located within her hometown. The owner of the store says that he knows a lot of the neighborhood children because the school bus stops right in front of his store every day and they get off and get chips and soda. One of those individuals that he knew was a regular was Celeste. He said she would also come in and get chips and soda. When Celeste went missing one of the times last year, her sister went to this convenience store to ask the owner to review footage. After reviewing footage, he saw Celeste on it. Celeste was seen on March 19th, 2024, exiting the store. She then goes across the street, walks farther down the street, and gets into an unknown vehicle. The owner of the store said that because he could not zoom in, he could not tell the make or model of the vehicle or who else was in the vehicle. But he did confirm that Celeste got into it. Again, to reiterate, a source close to the investigation confirmed that the video at David's concert is not Celeste. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments. Breaking news.
Maybe he just surrounded himself with girls that look like Celeste. There's that footage.
So I think I figured out who this girl is, because it has been confirmed that it is not Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Remember this picture? This looks a lot like the girl. When we zoom in, they look a lot alike. Again, a lot alike. So I think I figured out who this girl is, because
everybody's like, look at the girl, look at the girl. Everybody's like, here, this girl Celeste right here. I'm telling you, she has a look about her that at this point, I think everybody's saying that she looks like her. I don't know. What do y'all think? That's the other Celeste. The decoy Celeste? I don't know. You said that's the other Celeste. Oh my God. All right, guys. Y'all are funny. Let's talk about Gus real quick, okay? Oh, yes, it's pretty. Let's talk about Gus. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Gus. I feel like people, this is my understanding of Gus. Gus is somebody who passed away in 2020, at least the person that people have identified Gus. There were some text messages between, well, Gus is gone. Gus is dead. Gus died. He was shot in 2020. Okay? Gus is somebody that the internet is saying, hold up, girl, give me 1 sec. Y'all, sorry, I had somebody at my door. Gus is somebody who apparently there were some messages between Celeste and David where Celeste said that, she didn't bleed or bled. Like I'm trying not to get too graphic because of, and a name Gus was mentioned in there. I'm trying to be very careful about how graphic I get about this, right? It is believed that Gus was somebody that Celeste was with prior to David. That's what I'm going to say about that. Okay. Now, Gus was killed in a shooting in 2020. There's like a memorial thing, like a obituary thing, if this is the same Gus. So the theory is out there that Celeste might have been with Gus before David. And that's why David was upset. That's what they're saying. Which, I mean, if that is the case, that's why David was upset with Celeste, and there's these like messages between them. So there's no getting Gus, because if this is the Gus that everybody's referencing, he died in 2020. And Celeste would have been 9 or 10 years old when she was with this Gus guy. That's why it's like when people have sent me this information, I tell you guys, there's so much. Like I did a short little video about it yesterday, very short, because I don't feel like we have enough information to really get into it with that. But at the end of the day, what can we make of it? Gus is no longer here. Like, how does Gus play a role in Celeste winding up in a frunk? That's why I haven't really gotten into Gus like that. I'm only mentioning him here for a short period, and people have had different theories about Gus. That's why I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys. There's nothing to it. You know, did David know Gus is the question? Well, Gus is not even here. That's what I'm saying. He didn't do anything in terms of like putting Celeste in the trunk of his car. Does that make sense? I believe they said, oh man, hold up. I think I have his, if this is the Gus that people have referenced, let me see if I can pull it. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm going to try to pull the information. All right, hold up. Sorry. Gus. So Gus was born July 15, 1999, and he died, this Gus, he died October 14, 2020. So July 15, 1999, somebody do some math in the chat for me. What I know is that Celeste would have been like 9 or 10 if Gus did anything to Celeste, but Celeste is no longer here to confirm that. Yeah, he was like pretty much, yeah. I'm gonna see if I can pull it from Reddit because I feel more comfortable there. I bet you I can find it. Here it is. This is the Gus that people have referenced. All theory, I mean, yes, all the bubbles. She's blowing bubbles. All theories and allege. This is why I struggle with this theory, guys, because people want me to talk about God. And I listen, if y'all send me something, please note that it doesn't mean I'm going to talk about it. I may reference it, but I have to be careful, y'all, and I have to be responsible with my platform. Let's be very real. We don't know. She could have been referencing a different Gus. Some people just found this obituary of or this obituary of this guy. We don't know if it was him. We don't. I know that there's a message where the brother confirms of a Gus, but I'm going to be honest with you. Even that, to me, that message is questioning because I haven't directly talked to the brother. I don't know. So take it with a grain of salt. Even the people on Reddit are saying all theory and allege. So Gus is the man who allegedly had relations with Celeste in the past. No, it wouldn't be relations. It'd be abuse if it happened. This could potentially be Gus. We don't know. So this is what I'm saying. I'm like, y'all, we got to be careful with this because people have been putting this out here. But again, and I ask again, how does that help? Even if this Gus passed away, how does that help the situation right now? It doesn't. Because he's gone. There's nothing to it. He's gone. You know? Is it suspect? Yes, but I just don't know if it's the same. No, I see your comments, Phantom. I see your comments. Hold up. Let me shout out some people. I'm sorry. I'm behind. Coco's mom. These other women need to come forward and stop everyone guessing who they are, says Coco's mom. I know, right? All the who's Celeste, all these Celeste decoys, lookalikes. It's very alarming. And then you wonder why people are stuck into this. And it's not just the social media people, y'all. It's the news nations, the bigger media outlets. They're sucked into this situation too, just like all of us. This is when you have somebody come in here and talking about you guys are milking it. What are you talking about? We're reporting on new things that people are finding, and we're publicly talking about them. You may not like it, and that's fine. You don't have to watch, but all of this is public and we're talking about it. Sylvia, thank you so much for the $4.99. If you're here, please check if you hit the like button. Yes. What is your like number? That is the question that we have here. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for the $4.99. Edel, Ryan, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You said, I saw a post by the mom a week ago. I can no longer find it. The mom said that she named Celeste after her sister that was unalive 25 years ago. Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to you. You're from Taiwan. Thank you. Tammy Lynn is from Taiwan, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's international. As long as she had a period, she could conceive a child. Period. There you go, Tiffany. It's a tragic situation. We don't have enough information. This is why I feel like we got to be careful. Now, we are finding out more information. Some stuff is relevant, some stuff is not. But that's just my thought. I really hope that they have enough to build a case. That's the question. Officially, Pisces, that's the question. Do they have enough? He has not been formally charged, right? So keep that in mind. Right, 25 years ago, that's ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you, Carly. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tara Jackson, thank you so much for becoming a member. Love, thank you. All right, guys, it's gonna be a short one today. I know I've been like yesterday, I was live for 2 hours. We were talking about this. I do have to go out and do some stuff. I'm gonna make a shorter video as new information comes out. So check your notifications, because yesterday I did one and you guys really appreciated the shorter videos, you know, because I get right to the point and that's what I do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you're watching the replay, hit the like button. And thank you guys for keeping it cute in the chat. I really do appreciate it. Coco's mom, thank you for the $25. Milk this. They must be new. We have a lot of new people. You know what I mean? You guys have a great, wonderful day. Make sure, I think BJ's going to be live. I don't know if she set it up yet. Hold up. I don't know how to refer people out. Let me see if I could set this up. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, she has not scheduled her live yet. Make sure you guys check her out. I think she's going to go live and talk a little bit more. She might have a whole different take on different things. You know, we both have difference of opinions. Shout out to BJ. Make sure you guys check her out. Tara, thank you so much for gifting a membership. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe. And again, if we have more information, we're going to come live. We're going to talk about it. We're going to review it. That's what we're going to do. That's what we do on this channel. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.